Welcome to Nocturnal. Tonight's feature is a reading from the April 1930 issue of Monster Hunter Quarterly, in which senior editor Ellen Stanford asks, "Was Edgar Allan Poe a medium?" Was Edgar Allan Poe a medium, unbeknownst to himself? Flickering candlelight dances across my parchment as I work over a mahogany desk. Dipping a fountain pen into an inkwell, I chose to write this editorial in the same fashion as the man I am writing about. Monster Hunter Quarterly's offices are silent at this late hour, save for the occasional creak of the old building settling into the night, and that is the perfect setting to explore the question that challenges my thoughts. Was Edgar Allan Poe unknowingly a medium? The words flow from my pen, and the question takes on a spectral guidance of its own in the light of a single flame. I know the dangers of such a proposition. Mediumship is not merely a parlous profession. It seems it is a magnet for misfortune, and in recent months it has claimed more lives than ever. The obituaries have become a morbid motif, each story a somber reminder of the peril inherent to the calling. The idea that Poe, with his haunting prose and dark preoccupations, might have been tapping into something beyond the ken of mere mortals is a hypothesis that tugs insistently at my mind. His life was a tapestry woven with threads of calamity. It wasn't just the chilling nature of his stories that suggested a connection to the other side, but the series of mysterious and tragic events that perpetually ensnared him. Could it be that these were not just coincidences, but the consequences of an unacknowledged gift? Could it be that the very talent which granted him immortality in literature also doomed him to a life shadowed by death? What if Poe had been a beacon for restless spirits, his pen a conduit for messages from the ether? Consider the chaotic tapestry that was Edgar Allan Poe's formative years. A child uprooted time and again, with loss as his only constant companion, his father abandoning the family, his mother succumbing to tuberculosis, and later his foster mother passing away. Such upheaval could obscure the brightest of talents from one's own view. To be so ensnared in personal tragedy might render anyone oblivious to the peculiar whispers of one's own soul. Imagine young Poe, adrift in a sea of grief and instability, never realizing that the voices he heard weren't just echoes of his vivid imagination, but perhaps something more ethereal, something innate. Poe's works are rife with an understanding of the human condition that borders on the clairvoyant. The Telltale Heart, with its piercing insight into guilt and paranoia. The Raven, with its haunting refrain. Could these have been more than mere stories? They are masterpieces cloaked in darkness, yes, but also imbued with otherworldly resonance that transcends mere literary achievement. His words didn't just touch upon the macabre, they embraced the very essence of what lies beyond the veil. Perhaps this was a man who knew the shadows not because he conjured them from thin air, but because they whispered directly into his ear, a talent never fully realized nor understood. My own eyes narrow in the darkness as I look upon the grainy photograph of Edgar Allan Poe, his gaze piercing through the veil of time, this mysterious figure who has captivated us for so long. We may never know the truth, but more and more I suspect that Edgar Allan Poe's experiences were not just fodder for his stories and his words not just entertainments, but a cautionary tale for us all to be more aware of the dark forces when they gather around us in one form or another.